So what we will be doing is that first the explanation will show for a few seconds, let's say 3 seconds, and then it will change to the game itself. And for the game itself will be showing mice, like one mouse at a time, at a random location here at the bottom. And every time the mouse is clicked, the score goes up, like the mice score goes up. And also every mouse that appears, every time it appears, the time the player has to click the mouse will go down until it becomes really hard to finish it. And once they cannot click it, then the game will be over. And so first thing we will do, we will go to the mouse, we will say events, when the game gets started, hide the mouse. That's the first part we have done. Then we will have a signal play, and play will be when the game is like when the game itself is started. And then here we have a signal explain. So here we called, in the last video we made that signal start, but we will change it to explain because it will be easier to understand then. And here we go to the stage. When explain is received, we will see if it's still working. Start, okay, and it comes here, stop, start, okay. So let's focus now first on, so when we are here, okay. So this should take 3 seconds, and then we will switch to the game itself. So we go to stage, when I receive explain, switch the backdrop to explain. This happens, and then we will wait, control, we will wait 3 seconds, and then we will send a signal broadcast play. So then we will start to the game itself. So then we will say, when I receive play, switch the backdrop to play. See? So here now you see why it's a good habit to give names to your backgrounds, because here it's really easy to refer to them. So we wait 3 seconds here, then we jump whoop here to play. Now you might be asking, Shane, why are you not just putting this block here, then we don't need all this stuff? It's because one, it's easier to understand, like easier to have the overview, and two, when the game is on play, we want this mouse here, events, when I receive play, we want it to appear, show. So let's try, we start the game, start, we wait a bit, and then it starts. But we see this mouse is way too big, because we want something like this. So we go to the mouse, and we change the size, for example, to 30. It's quite big, but it's okay. It's not too difficult. And also, we don't want it every time to start at the same place. Maybe for the first one it's okay, but then we want to be able to click it, so that every time we click it, it appears on another place. So maybe first let's make the clicking part. So we do control, events, when this sprite is clicked, so we're on the mouse, right? When this sprite is clicked, when we click, we will say motion, and we see here go to random position, But the problem with that is that it might also appear in the top. We want the mouse only. Where's the mouse now? Here. We want the mouse only to appear here in the bottom. So we need to look what is that position. So we will pull this away so that for a while it will not just go to random position. And actually I don't need this block, so I put it away. And we'll see here the highest we want is y is minus 87 and the lowest is minus 158. So we will use this data. So we say here go to, and we will say pick random for y between minus 87 and minus 158. And for the x, so y is horizontal, like this is it starts here at 0, 0. This is positive y, this is negative y. For x, this is negative x, this is positive x. So we will go like in this range from minus 87 to minus 158. And for x, it can actually be the whole spectrum. So we go from, let's see what's the most left, minus 211. At the other side, then it will be 211 because it's symmetric from minus to plus, and here is 0. So minus 211 to 211. And if we do this, then the mouse will only be appearing in this zone and no longer here. So that's good. So go here. So when the game starts, when it's launched, when they click the green flag, it hides. That's good. When play is received, it should go to a random position and show the sprite. So here in my preparation, I have made a function go to random position. Let's do that. So we will take this away. We will make a block ourselves. We'll name it go to random position. Okay. And then for the definition, we will say, okay, we mean this by it. And here we get our block. So every time we launch this block, it will go to our definition of this block. So we do this when the sprite is clicked, and we also do this when the game is started. So start. This time it starts here. We start the game again. And now it starts here. You see, it launches random, and then when we click it, it also goes to random. So instead of copying this long thing twice, we just make a block and we call this block go to random position, and it's easier to read, it's clearer. And also if we want to change something about the area, we only have to change it once. So it's actually a great skill to have, to make your own blocks. Also when we will be programming, we will call it a function in JavaScript. But here we call it a block. Okay. So when the mouse is clicked, increase my Scott. So our variable should be changed by 1 every time it's clicked. So that makes sense, right? Every time we click, the score should go up. But in the stage, we also want that when the game is started, when it goes to play, that we show the variable. So let's try it. Start, play, it shows, and every time we click, it goes up. So that works fine. Only thing we don't have yet is Okay, already see one problem. When we start the game again, the score is not reset. So we go to stage and we say when the game has started, set the score to 0. Okay. And we also need to think well, because if the game is over, it goes back to explain, or it will go back to explain. So here it should be 0 when we start the game, but here 2. So just to be sure, because we cannot go wrong with that, we add it here too. Okay. So let's try start. Game is started. Click on the mouse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop. Start again. It's 0. Okay. But we also want this to be hidden when we start the game. You don't see it here, you don't see it here. So to do that, we will say hide it. Here to hide it. Now you might be thinking, we are doing the same thing here twice. Why don't we make a block? It's a good idea. So we go to my block. Initialize my Scott, and we take this code and we add this here. See, and this is more clean. Okay. Then what do we want? We want to add that if we don't click on the mouse, that it disappears and that it goes to game over. So we go to mouse and we will say that if no, we will wait a few seconds. So here we can say, for example, go to random position, wait 2 seconds, and then hide yourself. And let's see if that works. So we start. If we click, it keeps moving to a new position. But if we don't click, then it will hide. So that's good. So the last thing we want is that it sends a event and it broadcasts new message. Game over. And then here in the stage, we will add when I receive game over. Switch the backdrop to game over and show the button. We'll do this here for the button. Events when I receive game over. Switch costume to restart and show. So let's try. Start. Click on the mouse. We wait too long and the button appears. Maybe we can also change this background because it's not looking so good. So we can maybe here go to the backdrop and move this mouse to here. Voila. Maybe this one here. Okay. One thing we should still add for the game part before we finish up the game and it's game over screen. For the game part, we should, so let me click here. We should still add that every time, like now it will always take 2 seconds. We will make it a bit more difficult, but every time it becomes a little bit slower. So here I said that Actually, we wait 2 minus the amount of, not mouses, but mice caught times 0.03 seconds. So for every mouse we catch, we will make the time a bit shorter. So let's do this here. So we have, here we wait 2 seconds, we will change this. We will go to operators, we will go to minus, so let's say 2 minus, and then we take the multiplication, 0.03, and here we take the variable mice_caught, and we put this on. And we put all of this inside wait. So now, if you look at the math we are doing here, if the mice_caught is 0, there'll be 2 minus 0 times 0.03, so 0. Then for every mouse we catch, this number goes up, so every time it will be waiting a bit less long. If that's a bit complicated, then you can just keep it on 2 seconds. It's just to show how you can gradually enhance your game, make it a bit more difficult. So, see another problem. We start the game and it says restart. When the game starts, we want start. So we will say button. When the game starts, switch costume to start. Okay. And now it works. Start, get an explanation. The game is starting. And then every time it will become a bit more difficult. So, for example, if the score is 33, we will only have 1 second left. So let's see which score I can get, how good or how bad I am. 33. So now it becomes difficult. We have less than 1 second to click. See, and in the end it's just impossible. What I also noticed is I was still trying to click on the mouse, but it already showed the button for restart. Maybe we can do something here, is that when the game is over, that we wait a little bit. So here, before we broadcast game over, like we already hide the mouse. Or we will wait, we will get here the message and we will wait a little bit. Like, we will wait 1 second to show the button. This might be good to prevent clicking the button already while still playing the game. So if we wait, and then it shows, this will be safer. Okay, so now for the last part of the video, we can make that if you click restart, that it will go back to the explain part. So see, that's quite easy. Because we structure our game so nicely, because we have the structure here that when the game is launched for the first time, then when it goes to the explanation screen, then when it goes to the play to the game screen, then when it goes to the game over screen. So now we will say button now we need to think well. Actually, it's the same. It's just convert, because when the sprite is clicked, it should go to explain. And if the game is started, we click, we should go to explain. But also when the game is over, so when the game is over, it will also bring us to explain. The main focus actually of the series is that we will now learn how to make a web page and then how we can make a similar game in JavaScript, because we already know the logic, because we figured out in Scratch how to make the game, and then now we will make it. Like now we will look at our structure here and learn if we have some patience and we think really carefully, how can we convert those blocks to JavaScript?